Welcome everyone. Today we have our very special episode with Mr. Chris Kondo. He's a chairman of IBEON. He's one of the best corporation from Silicon Valley and Texas Austin. And definitely we are promoting his Technopolis technologies in Asia, in Africa, in South America, and everywhere. So thank you, Mr. Chris Kondo, to joining today's sessions. I think that we have a lot of young talent pool and entrepreneur in Asia Pacific. How do you want to introduce yourself with our audience?
Yes, hi, how are you? Well, it's a pleasure to meet everyone. And thank you, Dr. Sharif. I always love your amazing energy and your positivity. And, iBeyond is a corporation we're one of the world's leading intelligent interoperability systems by design and architecture. And, we pride ourselves in being able to connect systems and applications and workflows, for governments and large multinationals. So it's exciting to be here today with you.
Excellent. Already we are promoting your Technopolis technologies in South Asia, in Middle East, and in Africa and some other countries. So, what inspired you to build a global technology company like IBEON? How has your personal journey shaped your vision for its futures? You are very energetic, very positive. So, what the positive things behind
Yeah.
all of your energy?
It's amazing. First of all, I think that I'm all about fixing issues and fixing problems and solving problems at scale and solving problems for governments. And I was a former professional tennis player. And then I was a businessman. I was a banker at Payne Weber, and then I got into business. And I just I always say the bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. And we're all about making a dollar, making a difference as well with iBeyond. And one of the biggest problems we found is that, with corporations and with governments, we wanted to really be able to really change all the legacy, because today there's a lot of legacy technology that exists. There's the old legacy systems, and they don't communicate. They're very siloed data and what have you. So, one of the biggest things to success is collaboration and connectivity. So, on the technology front, and even with the human capital teams that we're involved with. So what inspired me is originally we wanted to create the Apple iOS system for healthcare. And what we did is we connected 12 of the data centers for United Healthcare together seamlessly. And so it was a very exciting opportunity. And we've taken this system and now we're focusing it on governments and what have you.
Excellent. As your IBM focusing on government and there are many large projects, those who need your technology. So how IBM focus on intelligent interoperability and AI system and how you want to explain this interoperability? Because many, I go for head-to-head class in business incubations. Many students like this topic, intelligent interoperability. Yeah.
Yes, no, absolutely. Well, I think within our system and within our architecture, first of all, we have many workflows built into the system. So we're able to process the data better, quicker, faster, and safer than most systems. We've got machine learning, data science, lexicon management, 9 types of artificial intelligence where we can process the data, you know, more purely than any other system, if you will. And then we aggregate and store the data in federated databases. So we've got a time series, a geospatial, we've got structured, unstructured databases. We've got SQL, non-SQL. Therefore, we can aggregate and organize the data very quickly, and we can pull it very quickly. And then we have artificial intelligence sensor technology, which obviously is technology involved in the Technopolis strategy and in the mini mesh AI EduCloud data centers. So I think it's the overall architecture of our system that we've built, the unparalleled state-of-the-art architecture of the system that really allows us to create real-time meaningful data, which is what the world is about today.
Excellent. My next question for the challenge, because you are taking lot of challenges, you are collaborating with the MENA region, with India, with many countries around the world. So, what are the biggest challenges you face leading innovations at the global scale?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenges for countries today is a few things. Number one, with first of all, the need for intelligent interoperability. I think a lot of countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, I think there's a lot of interoperability issues, meaning these legacy systems are not connected together. So I think they want a system like iBeyond to connect the various systems and not just within one sector, but across sectors. So we can connect the data from the education, the healthcare, even with the ministries of interior, if we could connect all this siloed data together, I think that's the holy grail and the key. And not just the systems, it's about connecting the platforms, connecting the workflows, connecting the applications. iBeyond is one of the world's first systems that connects everything together so we can have all this shared unified data, which is one of the biggest problems. Now, when you take, and that's, so one thing we do is we talk about upgrading old legacy systems, modernizing technology estates for countries and governments. The other area is with the data centers. I think it's all about, how do you tap the least amount of energy consumption, and how do you create sovereign data governance? I know today a lot of countries, they want to maintain, sustain, and retain control of their data. So how do you create a private closed loop system where there's protection of sovereign data governance? And that's one thing that iBeyond we feel we do with our system. We've created the world's first hyper intelligence collaborative closed loop system where we can actually create and enhance also the strategies with data centers. We can create mini mesh AI enhanced data centers, which the costs are 100 or thousands of times less than these big data centers, and we could use existing infrastructure and existing buildings when we're doing this. And then the last innovation we like to talk about is the Technopolis, where we're making smart cities more secure, more connected, and more intelligent. So it's pretty exciting.
Excellent, excellent. We are very much impressed by your solutions, by your innovations, and how you engage with this global community. We are very much impressed by your leadership. So, uh, what do you think, as a leader, what role do you think ethical leadership and corporate values play in the tech industries of tomorrow? You are great leaders. What your advice for entrepreneurs?
Well, listen, for the kids out there and for people wanting to create global businesses and what have you, I think commitment, attention to detail, immediate follow-up, Dr. Sharif, I think those are the most important attributes. I learned those early on from my tennis coaches. But right, you have to be committed, you have to be attentive to the detail, and you've got to follow up immediately and create action. And I think it's always important too to treat everybody within government, within life, with the same respect and consideration, whether they're your driver or they're a minister. I think that, if you have the character of treating everybody the same and with respect and love, I think that that's it's wisdom. Wisdom to me is the highest form of business, and I think acting with wisdom is key to the success in any business.
Excellent. As monetizing data is very, very new concept for emerging economy. I do research in Bangladesh, in Nepal, in Vietnam, and all of the countries. So this is very big opportunity for your company. So as someone involved in AI and data ecosystem, how do you balance rapid innovations with responsible use of data and AI? How you want to advise the government of emerging economy like Bangladesh Prime Minister, Bangladesh Chief Advisor, or Indian Prime Ministers, or all of the emerging economies government leaders?
Yeah, no, no, and that's terrific. I think that the leadership and governments have to think about ways of balancing and still creating jobs. I mean, obviously, artificial intelligence, with our system, we've created different layers of security levels, so we give access of data to different levels, at different levels. I think that with artificial intelligence as well, it's only as good as the data intelligence. So we like to say that artificial intelligence without data intelligence is a bankrupt proposition. So systems like iBeyond allow for some of the creation of the best, cleanest data to really allow countries and to allow corporations to make and discern and make the best decisions with the capabilities. But I think it's about with artificial intelligence, it's moving so quickly. And I think that what makes IBEOND important for these countries and for large corporations is they need a system like IBEOND with the speed, the scale, and the veracity to control the data, because the data obviously controls artificial intelligence and the outcomes of the artificial intelligence. So I think it's important to, for these governments and for large corporations to really focus on having the most stealth, state-of-the-art systems that will allow them to maintain, sustain, and retain control of all that data that's flowing to the artificial intelligence systems. That's how they
Excellent.
can protect it, I think, at the core, which is at the data level and the data intelligence level. That's the real key.
Excellent, excellent. As we will heavily uh, promote your technologies with the government agency, corporations, and academia. So, what is your advice for emerging economies? Specifically, you are trying to change the governance system. What is your advice for the government? What is your and my last question for you? When you plan to visit Bangladesh, because Bangladeshi people, the Prime Minister office, and all of the stock exchange commissions, they are waiting for your
Oh my
visit.
gosh. Well,
What's your
I,
plan?
I'm going to come hopefully in the next 30, 60, 90 days. I'm going to wait for your invite, and I'd love to come and visit with Bangladesh. I think that Bangladesh could be that new emerging country that can actually take the latest and greatest of IBEON's technology systems. And by the way, IBEON's system was developed by David Smith, our Chief Technology Officer, who's done some of the biggest work and amazing work for the U.S. government, what have you. So he's been a real treasure and asset to the U.S. government. But we could bring some of the best and brightest talent of innovation and technologists from the U.S. into Bangladesh to make it the shining star it needs to be. And by the way, this new age of technology with the new data centers, the technopolises, the upgrading of infrastructure for countries. I mean, this is the time where emerging countries have a great opportunity because they don't have the old legacy infrastructure where they're stuck in the mud. They can actually emerge with the new, greatest, and latest technologies so they could move quickly with the markets. It's kind of like even in the real estate business when you had Singapore and then all of a sudden Dubai. What is Dubai? It's the 2.0 of Singapore. They looked at what Singapore had and they made the next bigger city. Well, IBEOND is that new emerging technology system that basically, and also look, we can do an upgrade without the rip and replace too if there are countries that have some of this legacy, these legacy systems. But I think the best advice I can give is for these countries and leadership to get in touch with IBEOND immediately so we can help them solve their problems, solve the problems of interoperability issues, to allow us to connect all of the different sectors, their healthcare, their education, their real estate, their finance. This is the lifeblood, heartbeat, and pulse of an economy. So we can really help them not only survive, but thrive in these really quick, fast moving, changing times of the artificial intelligence game.
Mhm. Excellent, excellent, Mr. Chris. Thank you for your contributions, and we are very much excited. We want to invite you in Bangladesh with all of your teams. Definitely, David Smith always support World Talent Economic Forum. Many people know about IBEOND, and we are excited to invite you all. And definitely through World Talent Economic Forums, we are promoting your Technopolis around the world with 100 different countries. And we are planning to reach around 100 million people. Definitely your IBEOND will be part of this ecosystem. I request all of our audience, please share our content with the government agency, with the corporation, with the academia, because what Chris and his team is developing, this is the future. What he said that 2.0 of the Singapore, like Dubai. So this is the future of this world. Through these collaborations with IBEOND, you can go for monetization. You can solve your complex problem in healthcare, in education, in smart cities, in banking sector. That is very, very important and helpful for the emerging economy. Thank you, Mr. Chris, for your continuous support and your positive energy, your smiling face for our audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye and take
Thank you
care.
so much. Thank you, Dr. Sharif, and we appreciate your work as well. Thank you so much, and thank you for
Thank
being
you.
part of this. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.